Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to today's premium review in which we are taking a look at the Chinese Ki-84 Go sitting at 5.3 beta rating. We all know this thing, or many of us do, from the Japanese line, and it is absolutely fantastic, of course. It is such a fun plane, fantastic energy fighter that can boom and zoom to a certain extent as well, and has pretty good maneuverability, which make this plane very versatile. A jack of all trades that is specialized in energy fighting, which it excels, but the other two roles are quite acceptable as well. So it gives you a plane that can switch between the roles easily and is just amazing to fly. Very, very smooth plane. It's just the firepower. I'd wish some MG 151s on this one instead of the Japanese O5s. Although they are not terrible, just they aren't the best 20mm in the game. But for the rest, this plane is pretty much flawless in my opinion. So let's take a look at this plane. The maximum speeds of this plane at sea level without WEP is 544 kilometers an hour. And with WEP 578. At 4500 meters still go up to 501 without WEP and 517 with, and finally at 6500 meters you can take her to 473 without WEP and 493 with. Very good speeds. She stays functional in the war emergency power department as well, with still functional at the higher altitudes. So very competitive when it comes to speeds, and as I said, it is a fast plane and the performance in the plane is very, very nice. Top speeds in a dive are also nice. There are planes that are better on this one, but still it's good, with 795 for the red line and 860 before she rips apart. Now close to the jet speeds, let's say, or they are jet speeds, but that end top speed with 860 isn't the best. There are planes that are faster in a dive, but the control stiffening on this plane is actually quite competitive, with the first stick in the roll rate at 500 and the second one in 700, where the compression really starts to kick in. But it stays good for a long time. Elevator stays very functional as well. Easy to pull out of a dive. When it comes to extreme compression, you really need to go close to the red line. And the rip speed, and that's very nice to have on a plane. So the 700 for the second tick, it still is functional after that. You can keep your guns on target for a long time. This plane stays very maneuverable in the lower ends of the dive. At its top speeds, it still has very good maneuverability, thus, making this plane very capable of getting the guns on target on enemy planes. There's no problem there. So yeah, that top speed in a dive, the red line, is definitely the effective speed in a dive. He also has nice stall speed with 120 kilometers an hour, which is awesome for a plane on this battle rating. And yeah, that makes for some good speeds in this plane. It is a fast plane. The firepower in the plane is good. It has two Ho-5 20mm cannons with 150 rounds per gun. That is supported by two 12.7mm Ho-103 machine guns with 350 rounds per gun. The machine guns are in the cowling and the cannons are in the wings. You can also equip some bombs on this plane with two 50kg bombs and two 250kg bombs. I would never ever advise you to do this. It definitely breaks up the very good climb rate this plane has, and you don't want to do that. It's a shame for a few bombs like that you have a very good chance of missing when you throw them as well, if you don't throw them on the base. So yeah, not really my cup of tea to put bombs on fighters, but this plane has it, and you can potentially take it into ground RB, get a tank, and then move on to kill all the enemy planes that spawn. From that point onwards, this plane is that good. Yeah. When we come to the ammo loads, then I think it's decent, but no more than that. With 150 rounds for the cannons at this battle rating, many planes have much better ammo loads than this plane. But yeah, it is not particularly bad either, so call it decent. The acceleration in this plane in a straight line is great, and in a dive it is excellent. This is really nice. This plane, as I said, really shines as the energy fighter, and the acceleration in the plane really both in a straight line and in a dive is really good with great results when it comes to that. You really pick up your speed and thus excelling for maneuvers and stall maneuvers and all this jazz. The stall speed is also excellent with the climb rate that is very good and vertical energy retention that is excellent. This plane is a beast in the vertical and stall maneuvers. Energy retention, as I said, in the vertical excellent, in the horizontal it's also excellent. In both departments this plane shines, and this part of the plane makes me love it, and should do the same for everybody else. It is an energy beast, and it is very good in stall maneuvers and, you know, outlasting people when it comes to the energy and the energy bleed. In this plane it is not bad, it is actually excellent, and you can, well, there is very few planes that can outperform this plane when it comes to energy retention and acceleration, and the longevity of the plane when it comes to keeping speed up in maneuvers. Powerful engine with a good war emergency power on all altitudes, very functional, and just excellent all around when it comes to that. It is just a joy to fly this plane in these maneuvers and just dominating your opponents. It is really awesome, and it really takes a top performer in the energy department to beat this plane. And you need a good pilot then as well, because if you're a better pilot than the other plane, even if the other plane overlaps you a little bit when it comes to energy performance, then you can still win because of your pilot skills, of course. So you need one of the excellent opponents in the game to be defeated if you're a good pilot yourself when you're flying this plane. Very difficult, unless you make mistakes, which is always possible, eh? Let's be fair. I mean, even I still make dumb mistakes sometimes, out of greed or out of impatience or whatever. Anyway, the turn time then. You would expect, well, this plane must have some weak sides. Of course, it is always sometimes the case with planes, but this plane doesn't have very definitive weak points. The turn time in this plane is still decent in overall performance and good with flaps. The flaps do rip off though at 550 kilometers an hour, which is quite decent. Only at sea level in a straight line can you rip off those flaps, and that's only at the end when you almost completely out accelerated with web. But with the flaps it takes a long time to get there. They don't exactly work as air brakes, but they do of course limit your speed a little bit. They slow you down. But it does help with the turn time and giving this plane a good turn time when you have the flaps deployed. And when you have them deployed in a straight line, you don't have to worry about ripping them. In a dive you can, of course. It has very good acceleration and you quickly reach the 550 in a dive, so be aware. The roll rate though, that is maybe one of the points that this plane doesn't shine at. It is on most speeds it's average. You have a small window between 350 and 500 where the roll rate becomes decent, but that's about it. It is nothing shiny, the roll rate in this plane, but there had to be something in this plane that it doesn't do particularly well, and the roll rate is that point. Now with that average roll rate and the decent to good turn time, the maneuverability overall is decent. Overheating in the plane is not an issue. That is another thing that she shines, that you can use war emergency power to your heart's content. It doesn't overheat very quickly. It takes a long time to get to the red, and it's easy to cool her off, so it's not an issue at all overheating in this plane. Which is nice, because many planes do have overheating, and in some planes it's a big problem, but not in this one. Durability in the plane is good. it can take quite a beating, can take quite a bit of damage. And that is good to have. I found it to be very sturdy, takes you home when you have damaged engines, oil leaks and stuff like that. It doesn't have one of those engines that, you know, quickly transitions to a black engine. No, you do have some time. I mean, of course, when you do have damage, you eventually want to return to the airfield. But if it's only lightly damaged, you can definitely finish off a fight or kill off an opponent that you had your crosshairs on before you turn back and make a slow climb back towards your airfield. And it is definitely handy when that this plane is sturdy, because you face a lot of difficult teams. That can be nasty, but oh well. It is a very versatile fighter, as I said. Both very durable, fantastic in the performance, very good climb rate, working turn times. He's good in the maneuverability. You have good firepower with two 20mm that work, although the ammo loads are not spectacular, and you have a fast plane on your hands. And with all those good points, this plane is really a strong plane at 5.3 battle rating. The energy fighting role in this plane is where she truly excels. And then you have workable boom and zooming and turn fighting capabilities that are just good, nothing spectacular, but with an excelling energy fighting role and those two other roles where she doesn't limp along, you know, where it's good there as well. You have a fantastic all-round fighter here that is very worth your time. And this one sits at a place in the Chinese tree with a battle rating that you can unlock pretty much all the way to rank 5, end of rank 5 in this plane at a decent rate. This is the premium in the Chinese line that you can use if you want to just have one plane and use that to unlock the whole China tree. Then this plane is the one to go for. It's absolutely worth your money, and it hits perfectly at rank 4 to unlock everything up until rank 6. And it is just a beautiful plane. I remembered it as a good plane. I had a 10 to 1 kill death ratio in the Japanese one, and this one didn't disappoint. It got me back to those numbers again. So fantastic plane, can't say otherwise. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, I used the booster, 300% Silver Lion booster on this one. Look at that, Silver Lion reward, that's nice. Final Blow, Terror of the Sky, Bulletproof, 355,000 Silver Lions and 27,000 research points. I'll see you in the conclusion. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. It was a joy to fly this plane. There is no other way to put it. The Ki-84 Co is just a magnificent plane. It was like that for the Japanese when I flew that thing out. I was just amazed at how good the thing was. And I have been reminded. It's been a while since I flew that plane. But it is just such a joy to fly this thing. Absolutely amazing. I got close again to the 10 to 1 kill death ratio that I talked about, with 19 kills and 2 deaths in 10 matches, I believe. Just 1 kill short. But, oh well, that is good. This plane is just magnificent. It is awesome. The energy fighting you can do in this plane, stall maneuvers, she excels at it. And the only downsides that really are there are the roll rate and the meh guns. They are not super bad, but I mean the Japanese machine guns have made a name for themselves. And the Ho 5 cannons 20mm are alright, but with 150 rounds you don't have a lot of ammo. So yeah, guns and roll rate you could designate the weak points, but they are still, you know, decent to good or average when it comes to the roll rate, and nothing bad. So nothing on this plane is truly bad, and that is just amazing. Very versatile fighter, definitely worth your money. The greatest grinder for the tree to unlock the tree with just one plane. You should be looking at this plane. This one can get you unlocked all the way to rank 6. At the beginning of rank 6, after that it's going to be difficult. But rank 5 is easily unlockable with this plane. So This plane has a big thumbs up from me, and I would highly recommend you to buy this plane if you want to unlock the Chinese tree. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.